Hello everyone, it's Amy Bolton here. Oh, the lighting's not very great in here either, is it? But that's okay. We have Adeline joining us today talking about the Women's Sexual Empowerment Retreat and her workshop that she's going to be doing this coming weekend. I was just going to bring up hello. We'll see if we can bring her on here, and that retreat is coming up this weekend on March 27th and 28th, and it's going to be beautiful, just like the last one. We have 6 Goddess Panelists, this is what I'm calling the ladies who are joining us for the workshops, joining us and talking about all kinds of goodies. I was bringing up information on my other phone to share with you guys too, and Adeline, if she's joining us, we're going to add her on here. So say hi if you're joining us live, and if you're watching the replay, feel free to oh no, how'd that get in my way? Feel free to comment and let us know, ask us any questions you have. Say hi, let us know you're watching the replay. Yes, and so Adeline's going to be doing a embodied flow inner journeying workshop with us. Oh, hello, there you are. Go live. Oh, patience. Yay! We are live on Instagram together.
Only on our end.
And I'm here in like snowy cold Canada with my toque on, and
Hello, people.
I love it. Yay. Oh my goodness.
This is exciting. What time are we here?
I can't wait. Yes, we're finally here. A few glitches and all the wonderfulness. We're on Instagram rather than Facebook. Yeah, we're going to make it work.
All right. What are we talking about today?
So we are talking about the Women's Sexual Empowerment Retreat that's coming up very quickly. Is like, what, 1 day away?
Yeah, it's on the 28th, isn't it?
Yeah, 27th and 28th on Saturday and Sunday at the full moon. Yeah, it's coming up. Yes. And why don't you introduce yourself and let us know a bit more about yourself and what you do.
All right, cool. Hello, people. My name is Adeline, and I'm currently in Bali, Indonesia. So this is a beautiful piece of paradise, and I've been living here for the past 1.5 years, but I've been on and off for 3 years. So that's also where my feminine and sexual awakening, healing, and all the beautiful things happen. So I like to call myself an orgasm artist, because I feel that orgasm goes beyond just in, your sexual life, but also how can you treat everything in life or every experience like an orgasm, like the food you eat, the music you listen to, like the sunset that you see. Everything is an experience, and the more in touch you are with those sensations and experience, the deeper you get to go within yourself. And that's what we're all about today, as well as like the power of our bodies as women. I think that, starting with like patriarch on how they started to repress our power through objectifying our bodies, to, the need to train, to look a certain way, to get shredded, to all that bullshit. So because of that, we have actually lost the true power of what our body is really capable of. And for men, the spiritual doorway to expansion, to consciousness, to wokeness, whatever you want to name that, is through their mind. But for women, it's through our body. I mean, I have not had a baby, but just imagine how we get to grow a human being inside this thing, and it just expands. And the moment the
Right?
baby comes up, it just shrinks back in. Like, that says a lot. And, you know, it's more than just trying to get the abs. It's more than just trying to you know, do something with your body, but really be in your body. And one thing I've also noticed is that with the, you know, spiritual or new age spirituality thing is like everyone is trying to get out of the body, to transcend, to just raise higher vibration. At the end of the day, we're still living in a physical realm. Like, we're still living in a physical
We
plane.
are.
So we have to come back and work through our body. Yeah. And that's really what the embodied inner journeying is all about. It kind of came to me in one of my group programs that I've just decided to replace that with a Q&A session. Like, I had no idea how to do it, and there was so much resistance in your body. And sometimes when you feel there's this massive block which is like holding you that you can't move, surrender into it, because that could be almost like your mind is like trying to say, no, you can't do this, you can't do this. But when you allow that, you're going to expand and open up to like a whole new possibility, creative potential that you don't even know what you can't know. It's like, it's just a force that's beyond you. And I don't know if that happens to you or to any of the one of you guys who are watching, is that have you find yourself getting into this flow of creation, whether it's writing, whether it's video, whatever creation that you're doing, and you go back to it and I'm like, did I just create this? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
That is like the power of that connection to God, to wisdom, to your body. It's like, that is where the portal of pure potentiality really lies, when you truly surrender into that.
Yes. Well, and as you say that, interestingly enough, that is how this women's sexual empowerment retreat came. This is only the second time that we're doing it, but so I guess it was like 3 full moons ago. I was like just flowing in my journal and I was writing, and I knew that like ultimately I wanted to do something like this, but it all just came out and I was like, oh, that's what it's going to be. This is how it's going to happen. And I just started writing down names and making it happen. And it's just, that's through that flow that just naturally happens. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think that in order to access that really comes from like opening your body, like truly open, like from an internal, like it's a feeling. If you know, you know, it's like this weird feeling in you. And I do believe that for me anyways, like sexuality was the gateway that truly cracked me open, you know, energetically, to receive, to allow all these magic to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I know I'm like a big nature lover. Like I love being out by the water or in the forest, or yes, exactly. By the like we're like always like trying to find new waterfalls or rivers to look at. And oh my gosh, that's where I tap right back into my center and I just feel so grounded. And if I get, because we live in our travel trailer, so we're living nomadically, and if like sometimes it gets to be a little much with the kids and family and all of us in a small space, I'm like, we need to go outside, we need to go reconnect, all of us. And it's just like so much better when we're out in nature, and then I can come back and like things flow so much better.
100%. And I think that you know, for those of you who are listening or watching the replay, really is an invitation to start feeling into your body beyond the material, beyond the physical, because I think that we all have gone through this phase of like insecurities of like, oh, I should look a certain way, I should have things a certain way. And by trying to control how you look, you are actually blocking the fullest expression of who you may be, and just really allowing the energy to flow. And the more you allow that, the more you're connected to your true power, the more you're able to be creative, the more you're able to allow whatever it is that to happen.
Yes, so beautiful. I love it. I'm Oh, there you are. I
All
think you were
right.
cutting out there for a minute. But yeah, it's so, so beautiful. I can't wait for you to do the workshop this weekend. It's going to be beautiful. And just to see um, everybody's reactions to it and what they think, and yeah, what they get out of it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. And what I feel like how that came about also, I think that what we don't honor as women is that our body is meant to be like movement. We thrive in movement, like, you know, in different dynamics, like you said, flow. But a lot of the meditation practices or breath work or really any form of practices to get into that stillness that we are, it's all created by men. And, you know, no hate to them, love the masculine, but at the same time, it's like to really tap into what we're capable of, movement. So I can still meditate with movement. I can still tap into that realm, go through like different portals through movement. And that's like, I think the best way to describe that is like meditation and movement. That was what one of the feedback that I got, is that she really just like meditation because it feels like it's so constricting for her.
Constricting?
Like, you know, your child went, like you just want to go wild and just go chaotic, right? That's part of who we are. You know, sitting down or just lying down and like doing a vipassana, for an example. Some days it might work, but some days this just wants to move. And in those movements, that's how things are born. And so that's a different experience. Get an orgasm, can't promise it, but if you're open to it, anything is possible.
Yes. And especially with the full moon energy that's coming up this weekend, like it's the perfect time to get that movement going and and releasing everything and getting ready to renew for new intentions, right?
Yes, and we are also in Aries season now, which means there's a lot of fire, which is good because fire is what kickstarts your ideas and turning all that thing from, you know, bringing them into physical and actually creating them. So really to allow more space for that to happen, you have to get rid of shit. And getting rid of like it's energy, it has to go out somewhere. So if we haven't actually moved, we haven't processed, if we just numb them and avoid them and push them aside, there's somewhere here. So
it's gonna come out some way, and we want it to come out in a more positive,
in a safe exactly in a safe container.
Safe way.
I think for me, like, I don't know if that's the same for you. Like in the past, it's like it was very difficult for me to cry. Like it's just there's this switch that's flick off, that there is just no emotions, there is no expression, and there's always like everything is great. And really to be able to break down that barrier, that's what that's how you also really access to your body as well, because that barrier, it's tough, you know?
Yeah, allowing that release, that crying release. Yes. I know I grew up where, you know, tough girls don't cry, and you don't cry, you hide all that. So you suppress it. And it's funny because I've been getting better at crying around my family, and my girls are always like, "Are you okay, Mom?" Yeah, it's okay to cry. I'm just releasing what I need to release, right? And during my coaching calls, I've gotten so comfortable with my group coaching program that I'm in. The other day I went there and I just like started bawling, and I let out so much stuff, and I was like, you guys, this is like the first safe place that I've had where I felt comfortable crying and just had this, it's just beautiful. And it makes it so much better, right?
It's cathartic, right? To be able to express in that way. And I think the more you allow yourself to cry, like it becomes this natural thing. And sometimes that doesn't mean anything. Like, you know, what I've learned as well, especially tapping into energetic work, is that sometimes you're just purging for someone else as well. And I don't know, like for me now, I look forward to like a good cry, because it's just like, okay, it has washed all the shit that no longer, and then there's this new refreshed feeling. And also what I find from crying is that when you get to that state of like rawness after like you know, like a spiritual surgery, it's like you've just been ripped open and you're just so raw. The beauty of that is your mind is just so exhausted to take over, that whatever comes through to you, it's from your heart, it's from your body, it's from your soul. And take a moment to really allow those messages, to allow those transmissions to come in as well.
Yes, I love that. That's so beautiful. And it's so, it's perfect.
I think that's the reason also why, well, not a lot, but some women like cries after a really good orgasm is because of that body, because you're in your body, it's moving the energy, it's
Yes.
doing its thing, and it's just simply an expression, and really it's just something that women need to allow themselves to connect to.
Yeah, and that actually reminds me, a couple years ago. So the first time that I came out as a bisexual individual, like online, I had kind of suppressed that for so long and suppressed my sexual energy. I know you and I talked about this before, and so after I had this conversation with this girl about this, and then I went and I had an orgasm. Well, not an orgasm. I masturbated for the first time in like 16 years, I think it was, which is crazy, right? Right. Like I had sex with my husband, but never like masturbated, right? And so it's funny because as you're talking about this, I remember the first few times that like it was amazing, and I was crying, like releasing. There was so much built up energy. And yeah, that it happens. It's happened.
It does. I mean, you know, while we were on that conversation, is that after one of my plant medicine ceremony, you're not meant to do anything sexual for I think 48 hours. But there was just this like pull for me to like, I need to have an orgasm right now. And then I realized it was what I needed, because the moment I hit that orgasm, I started crying. It was like, I did not cry at all throughout the whole weekend of the ceremony. There was a lot of rage. There was a lot of rage was most of it, but then there was no, like, I didn't cry all weekend, and I knew that it has to come out some way, and boom, it activates. Like we hold so much emotions around here, and it's a beautiful practice that you can do yourself to give yourself, to honor those emotions and to allow them to come out.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love all of it. It's going to be beautiful. So I just want to let everybody know kind of what all the other workshops are. If you're just catching this video, I've posted all the other Goddess Panel videos on the sales page. So definitely go meet the other ladies, and it's going to be so wonderful. Jen's doing the Anatomy of Pleasure, so we're going to start the weekend off with that, which is going to be wonderful, because like how many of us actually learn about like orgasm and pleasure in school? We don't. We like learn about don't have sex and use protection and watch for STDs.
Don't have babies.
Don't have babies.
Although protection is safety is important to tap into the new level pleasure, which we can probably talk about maybe in the Q&A after the journey, you know, for those of you who want to really explore your primal desires. Like, what I realized also is that I think a lot of us have these really wild primal desire. I don't want to call it fantasy, because I think it's more of a desire became fantasies when it's something that you can't actually actualize it. But if you actually allow this space for you to explore whatever crazy desire that you have in your mind, without the shame, without the weirdness of like, oh, you know, people is going to think that I'm weird as shit. That's a conversation that we can have after the session as well. You know, especially those of you who have been or are looking into tapping into like the world of kink, of BDSM, of shibari, because that is a really healing space that I could, you know, that has helped me in opening up my body, in really allowing myself to tap into my own power as well. So yeah, if any of you have any questions on that, you know, like, could be fantasy, could be something that you really wanted to try out. There are also like safety protocols, and also knowing how to venture around that, because there are obviously fake creepy people out there that's out there to exploit the vulnerability of women. And this is why women, you know, getting to know your body and getting to know who you are is so important, and so you can weed out all these creepy people and allow all those right people into your life, into your body, inside of you. Boom.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yes, the whole kink side is like another level of, yes, healing that shame and everything. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Yes. And then, so after that, learning about the anatomy of pleasure, we're going to learn about the importance of knowing yourself intimately and all the tools that Brooke uses. So Brooke's going to do that. That's the first day. And then we'll flow into choosing your own pleasure, so you can like expand this whole workshop as much as you want and like go into whatever feels good for you and whatever pleasures you want to do for the evening or the afternoon, whatever morning, whatever time of day it is for you in the world, because this is global. And then
And
the
there's
following
no
day,
right
we're
time
going to
for
start
pleasure.
off with using, no, no.
Anytime, every
I,
time, anywhere.
I love an afternoon rendezvous, a morning wake up. It's like all of it's good.
I'm a morning kind of girl. Wake you
Yeah.
up.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I know. Some of my best days start off with pleasure.
Mm-mm. Always, always.
Yes, yes. Either way, I always try and set my intentions to have a good day. But yes, so then the next day, Sunday, February 28th, on the full moon, we're going to learn, or we're going to be watching Melissa talk about erotica. So writing erotica, oh yes, so good. I don't know if you've ever tried writing erotica, but she has some really beautiful articles, and it's great.
Crazy you mentioned that. It has came in literally last weekend. I was riding down to this town an hour away from me. Halfway through riding my scooter, crazy down there for erotica. It literally, I was like, I have to stop myself, because I'm like, otherwise I might just go way too far and crush my bike or something. So I started riding them, and it's actually a whole new place to play, to get into this receiving mode, into this pleasure. And maybe I might share some. I might do some erotica reading on that day as well, halfway through the practice. Crazy. I've started writing them, and highly recommend, because that's how you expand your imagination and actually allowing a new like form of pleasure. Highly recommend erotica.
Yes, yes, so good. Yeah, so yeah, we will be diving into that with Melissa. So definitely, if you I know it's going to be early for you. So if you want to get up extra early, right?
What
Join
time is it?
us.
Maybe I just chuck it all night. Maybe I
It's
might just
right
chuck it
before
all
your
nighter.
workshop, an hour before your workshop.
Oh, that's all right, because that would
Yeah,
be late, because my workshop is at midnight, my time.
10
It's
a.m.
okay, I
Pacific
can't sleep.
Standard.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, it's late. Yes, so
perfect.
late. I'm getting mixed up with yeah.
Yeah, the
So
time
yeah,
zone.
so definitely hop on for that. It's going to be good. And then we're having your workshop, which you explained, and it's going to be wonderful. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. Can't wait to join. And there's going to be lots of movement and flow, because, you know, we're not just going to sit in front of our computers or phones. We're going to actually
not, not,
move.
yes, we are.
And then finally, we're going to end it off with Lee talking about your womb and your expression and the seasons and the moons and all those types of things. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a really good weekend. And you get all the replays too. So if it doesn't work for your time, then you get to watch it whenever you want. So definitely get your tickets. I'll put the link. I don't think I put the link yet because we were having some technical difficulties, but I will make sure the link is posted wherever this is posted, and meet all those ladies and learn about their workshops and join us, because it's going to be a beautiful weekend.
Yeah, just come with an open mind and body. And I think just really allowing yourself to receive whatever it is that you're ready to receive. Don't have any expectations on that, because those are the times where you get to blow your own mind out of what you've ever known, and see it as, yeah, you can also see it as a little time with yourself over the weekend to get to know yourself better.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you deserve it. I know as women, we often don't take this time for ourselves. So it's going to
Yeah.
be a perfect time to do that. I know I just did a interview with one of the last attendees on the last retreat, and yeah, she definitely came with an open mind, and I mentioned that too, that having an open mind made a big difference to her experience, and she loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Any last minute comments or things you want to share?
I'm going to leave with one of my favorite quotes is that the world is a better place if all of us have all of us have better orgasms. End of story. End of story.
There we go. I love it.
You